How you doing? My name is Victor, and this is my roommate Andrew, and we'll be talking about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So, Andrew, is it true that your father's in the military?
Yes, he is. He's a Marine, Lieutenant Colonel, been in 28 years.
What war was he in?
He was in Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom.
Okay. Now that he's home and you've had some time to spend with him, have you noticed any forms of PTSD?
Well, I guess mild forms, where it's like arguments become louder than they used to be. Like, simple arguments become shouty matches in my house. And my father's a very, very nice man. It just seems like he's always on the edge these days, like a short fuse, and it's like, yeah, I guess that would be it. Like, it almost seems like he doesn't even realize that he's yelling when he is. And this is like drill sergeant yelling, like I'm in the field, and that's what really like flips me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand.
You're having a normal conversation, and he just is
a misunderstanding becomes And I mean, you butt heads just like any other family member does, but it just feels extra. Like, why? And as a child, you don't disrespect your father, so you gotta sit there and take it. But then you wonder, I feel like there's something more behind it. Yeah.
Do you know if he's done anything to cope with any of these?
No, my father, I would go on a limb and say no. I come from a family where we're strong-willed, as in, like, there's no obstacles that we can't face, whether it's through God or with each other. And I feel like as a leader of our family, he wouldn't want to put any type of stress on us, as in, like, I'm worried about this. And in turn, that worry spreads out throughout the family. Like I just said, like, I'm worried about this, son. Like, I almost didn't come back. This almost happened. I lost a friend. And then in turn, as a child, I worry about my father being happy. Like, is this what you stress out often? Like, are we not enough to make you happy? What can I do to help you? And as a child, like, I'll do whatever it takes to make him feel better. But I have to know the problem, and he doesn't talk to us. And I don't know. He's not the type of person to go talk to someone, that's for sure. He's not a sit down, express your feelings type of man. But I know that they're in there. And hopefully one day he finds a way to get it out. Man, the stresses. It'll be what kills him.
Okay. How has your father in military experience and the sentence he's gone through, how that affected your relationship with your father and your outlook on the military itself?
That's a funny question. So to really hear it, I guess me and his relationship has been kind of strained lately, where it's like, all right, what child doesn't want to spend time with their father? I understand that you're busy. I understand you have conferences. I understand you got to go away. And even the things that I'm busy with, being older now, I think I wish that we were just a little bit closer. Like, I know he loves me, but most of the time it feels like I'm not living up to a standard that is set. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I even want to attribute it to, like, him being in the military, but I do feel like there's, like, a standard of quality that I didn't meet. And sometimes I wonder maybe if I'd gone in just like he did, we would have a firm speaking ground. As in, like, you're here in the military. I remember my time being here in the military, but we're not there. He's straightforward, focused thinker. I know what I want, and I'm creative mindset, free spirit. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to find a common ground. The only thing we have is football. But then with him being so busy, we don't even do that anymore, And I guess when it comes to my outlook on the military, it makes me have mixed feelings I thought I'd never have. See, when I was 4, once I even realized what the military was, and my dad did it, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an ordnance, load weapons on planes, go defeat the enemy, come back a hero, because my father is a hero to me. It's an amazing man, especially with the things that he's gone through in his life. To reach where he is, everyone's surprised. You know what I'm saying? To reach Lieutenant Colonel, top man of his department in the world, that's wild. But with achieving that, a lot of that came from like the family sacrifices. I mean, he left for Desert Storm 4 days after I was born, and anything could have happened. He actually even told me of a story in Desert Storm where a Scud missile dropped on the base and didn't detonate. Faulty wiring, you know? I mean, if that's not a blessing, I don't know what is. You know, I could have lost my father 22 years ago. And he told me similar stories, you know, and it just kind of trips me out. Well, it makes me think to myself, like, I don't want to be in the military anymore because I'm having a family. And I want to be there for my kids. Their first words, their first steps. And I don't want something like a random bullet changing all that for them. And I feel that if he had a choice to go to college and do something better, then he wouldn't have gone to the military. He would find another way to provide. And he did what he had to do. And I'm thankful for it. But if I can find a better way, I'm going to try. So I can be home with my family. It's actually funny. One thing that stands out in my mind, and I tell a lot of people this story, so I'm just rambling now, trying not to. When I was 15, he was supposed to go to Iraq for 1 year. And this was 2006. I guess like the war was getting pretty epic, as you can say, overseas. And a lot of people weren't coming back. And came into my room the night before he was supposed to leave with 2 mugs of beer. And I was like, what are you doing? You know? Like, why you got 2? I'm 15. I don't even drink. That, like, I wasn't one of those kids that drank secretly in high school. I was a good boy, all that stuff, you know? And yeah, he brought in 2 mugs. And I was like, what's going on, Dad? He's like, hey, I'm leaving tomorrow. Just have a beer with me. So I'm like, okay, you know, it's my dad. I'm like, that's cool. Have a beer with my dad. Drink the beer. And we were just talking about random stuff, football. And it was really nice, actually. Just conversating with my father, talking about random stuff, being one of the guys. I mean, because every kid wants to be that with your father. Father's your hero. So we drink the beer, feeling a little relaxed and everything. He's like, you okay, son? You okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm alright, you know? Like, yeah, this stuff's cool. Have beer. Like, And he left the next morning. You know, he's fine. Everything came back and everything a year later. But it wasn't until I was around 19, 20 that I realized why he had a beer with his son. You know what I'm saying? One thing I always wanted to do is that when I turned 21, we got our first drink together. And I was like, but you had your first drink with me at 15. I was like, and that's when I realized that he didn't think he was coming back. And in my head, like, my father's invincible. Like, there's nothing that'll stop him from coming back. And for him to even express that, you know what I'm saying, that he might not come back and do that simple thing, it made me worry. It made me look at the military a whole different thing. Like, a lot of people don't come back. My father was lucky enough to come back. I honestly don't think that me being in the military, that my luck will hold out. And I might not come back, and I'll lose my family, and they don't deserve that. So if I find a better way, I'll do it. Yeah.
It was the fact a man shared his first beer with his son at 15 because he didn't think he would live to see him turn 21.
Yeah. Love of mine, actually. Like, but I tell a lot of people that story. Just basically, be thankful for what you had. I mean, your father's there, you got your mother. Be happy, because some people really don't have it. And I was lucky enough to have that, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of the few people who have both of their parents. Like, and I cherish that every day. Yeah.
Okay. I want to thank you for your time. See you later, man.
All right.